So welcome back to another Live and Dirty at 5:30. I still don't know if Jamie likes that or not, but I think it's funny. And so yeah, welcome back. I know it's been a couple weeks since we've had our weekly question and answer and kind of walk around the shop, but I've been at Bonneville and it was just really tough to do live events like we normally do on Thursday nights. So there was a live event where Kaylin was recording that showed me getting all suited up in the car and making a run where I spun. So that is in the, it's still in the lives area, but it's just a previous live. So make sure to check that one out because I watched part of it today because I didn't get to see it yet. And I think it turned out pretty good, showing some of the ins and outs of racing at Bonneville. So yeah, welcome back. If you've got questions, make sure to get those in because tonight is going to be heavily focused on your questions because clearly me being out of the shop for 2 weeks, I haven't really been able to do a lot of work, so I can't show you any updates. So we can walk out to the shop. Actually, before we do that, we'll talk a little bit about merchandise. So the MGA shirts, the pre-orders are all in and have been shipped out before I left, and we've got some left in stock, and I re-upped our order. So if you want to get one of our MGA shirts, we'll have those back in the store in the next couple days for any of the sizes that we're missing. So make sure to check that out.
Dennis is here. So
welcome, Dennis. I saw your comments on Facebook and stuff while I was out of town. It was tough to reply to everybody because we were so busy racing and working the event. But
yeah, thank you, though.
Yeah, I appreciate the support.
Yeah, he said, glad you're home safe. Me too.
Yep.
You could talk about the drive back home.
Yeah, the drive to and from were pretty long and miserable. I did roughly 950 miles each day to get me there in 2 days and then home in 2 days. I had to do a class just outside of Salt Lake City on the way home, so that was nice. It broke that up. I got to go from Bonneville to Salt Lake, which is about 2 hours. And then I did a class there and then the drive home. So it knocked a couple hours off, but it was nice kind of breaking that up a little bit. So since I got home, I haven't even had time to unload the car yet.
Say, I might need to wipe the camera off. We got a little bit of a glare.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. She's going to wipe the camera off, so stick around.
Why don't you do it real quick?
All right. Well,
because
hold on.
I don't trust myself.
Yep. So hold on. I'll clean you guys off. Better?
Okay, I think so.
All right.
Yeah, we were a little fuzzy.
A little fuzzy?
Yeah.
So when I got home, I had ordered a bunch of our Hot Shot shrinking disc blanks. So that's what I'd been doing. What day is it? Thursday? Mm-hmm. So I was in the shop yesterday and today. So I stamped out a bunch of those. They're all restocked on the web store. I think there was 50 or 75 discs. So that took some time. Had a bunch of phone calls I had to reply to, emails to get caught up on. And yeah, so like I said, I haven't even unloaded the truck and trailer from the trip yet, but that's on my list for Saturday. So are there any questions or anything yet before we kind of talk about our little recap from Bonneville?
No, not yet.
No?
I think you give them the rundown of your drive out.
Yeah, I mean, the drive out was pretty uneventful. We lost a valve stem on one tire in western Wyoming, and that went off, pulled over, swapped the wheel and tire, no big deal. And then like 10 minutes later, I lost the tread on another tire. So I had to stop and swap that one out too. And then we got two new tires put on in Wendover.
Oh, yeah. So he calls me and he's like, hey, will you go on Amazon and order me some new tires and get them sent to, where did
Montego
I get them sent?
Bay.
Yeah, I got them sent to a hotel.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I thought it was kind of silly. Like, I don't know how many of you guys have bought tires for trailers on the road. Every time I've bought tires along the way, they last maybe 1,000 miles. So instead of spending the money and buying something just to get me through and having to put tires on it when I got home, since I was going to be in Wendover for a week and a half, I had Jamie order those tires, ship them out there, and then the Goodyear racing trailer was there doing land speed tire swaps. I just had them put one new tire on and replace the valve stem in the other one. So that worked out really well. And then on the way home, I lost another valve stem. So part of the problem with the valve stem issue is I've got these TPS monitors that go on there, and it's got the metal cord rubber style valve stem. And I think the centrifugal force and the vibration just tears them up. So we're going to take all the valve stems off and put solid bolt-in style metal valve stems, and that should correct the problem, especially because this is the third valve stem I've lost this year. So don't want to deal with that anymore. I think we've got the problem figured out. And the drive was pretty uneventful other than that.
Did the TPS things help you, like?
Yeah, I really like the TPS stuff. It's just cheap aftermarket thread-on style TPS monitor that wirelessly connects to a reader on my dash. And I like that because I'm not constantly looking in the mirror for smoke coming off the tires or wondering if I've lost a tire. And it's really nice because, say I lose a valve stem or I pick up a nail, it'll tell me when the pressure's dropping, and I can actually save the tire instead of waiting for it to explode, and then I have a problem. So with the TPS, the 3 times we've lost valve stems, I get a notification that pressure's dropping. We can pull over and swap it and actually save that tire. So that makes it really nice, and I do like that a lot.
And it gives you time to be able to get somewhere a little bit safer if you need to.
Yeah, and it's just a peace of mind thing, so I'm not constantly watching the mirrors. Yeah. Anytime I'm like, man, I wonder what the tires are doing, I can see it. Gives me the pressure, gives me the tire temp. It's just really nice. So big advocate of those after running one for a season. So that was just the drive there and back. So at Speed Week, we started racing on Saturday, and we started out on the rookie course, which I wasn't a rookie, but the rookie course is kind of the layout is the long course is here, then the short course is here. Long course is 5 miles, short course is 3, and then off to the side they have a rookie course, which is timed from the 1 to the 2, and then they have a 2 1/4 trap. So that's usually for slower cars, people licensing up, or doing the rookie runs. So Saturday and Sunday we stayed there because I wanted to license up a couple times and get more familiar with the car, see how it handles on the salt. So by Sunday we were running about 188 by the 2 1/4 trap, and we were thinking that was as fast as we could go on that course. So we moved over to the long course and we spun. So roughly the average across the mile was 187.8, I think. And we spun, and so we took it back to the pit, changed some stuff up, changed the tires, changed the gurney lip on the wing, and the next day we went out and we ran again on the short course and changed up our driving technique a little bit. Wasn't quite so aggressive off the truck and tried to use all of the course, and we actually spun again. So that one, the second spin kind of tore up the underside of the car, chewed up the front air dam, the splitter, front belly pan, and the exhaust a little bit. So it called our week early, but we kind of figured out what was going on, and we think we're getting too much frontal downforce at speed. So right around the 190 mile an hour mark, we think we're getting way too much frontal downforce compared to the back. So it's changing our weight bias more towards the nose, and we lose traction and it pivots on the front wheels. So with that, we have a limited slip differential in there that was put in by the previous builder, and that could also be aiding or hurting us. Once we get light on the back end, the limited slip starts to freak out a little bit, and that could throw us into a spin. So we're going to take the limited slip out, put an open diff in it, and then probably put another 500 pounds behind me to get a little bit more weight on the back of the car.
Yeah, I have a question. No one's asked quite yet. I was wondering, I thought about this the other day. I should have asked you, but works out. What made you decide to get pushed off versus just running?
So when we get pushed off, it's easier on the clutch, especially with adding the weight to the car. It just makes it easier on the clutch, so we don't burn the clutch up prematurely. So that was a big thing, and it makes it easier later on. So since we were on the short course, we did a lot of practices with that, because we got 9 runs in total over from Saturday through Wednesday. So that really, it's a good thing to know how to do, is take off from the truck. And the big thing that I was hesitant about at El Mirage is with the drive-by-wire, I don't feel the connection to the car. Like when you have something that's cable driven, you can feel it and there's not a lot of lag. So just the lag between the electronic pedal to the engine, it's a different feel. You can't feel it. So we worked a lot on that, and I feel a lot better being pushed up to speed now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Any questions or anything, or just?
Yeah, Dennis wanted to know if you knew Chris.
I didn't know. I had met Chris, but I didn't know him very well. That was just kind of a bad deal. So if we can, we'll just stay off of that topic because it's, yeah.
Burton said, "Oh, tricky, not front end lift, front end drive. Any way to test check that before next year?"
Really, the only way to check it and be accurate is if we went to the wind tunnel, which is very expensive. It's about $2,000 an hour, and they only spin the air up to about 80 mile an hour. And the problem is aerodynamic forces are not a linear thing. So if they spin it up to 80, it's going to give us from 0 to 80, and it's not going to extract in a straight line. So it'll give us some input, but not a lot. So the biggest thing we can do is one of my friends is helping out. He just retired, and he's an aerospace engineer, or I don't know. He sent stuff into outer space and works on jets and all kinds of crazy stuff. So we're sending him some pictures, and he's going to do some front end analysis and help us calculate how much weight we need to have. But that's all we can think. The other option is the car is shaped like an airfoil. So as the air comes up over the top, it should dip down and then hit the rear spoiler and create downforce. But at that 190 mile an hour mark, we might be approaching the delamination speed of the laminar layer of the air. So instead of dipping down, it could just let go, which is like stalling an airplane wing. And then we have no more downforce. It's just turbulent light air, and we're losing all that downforce we had. So it could be one or the other. So the easiest way to do that is just add weight. That way we're not solely dependent on aerodynamic downforce. Cool. So as far as testing goes, not a lot we can do. We do have a data logger on the car, but a lot of the data was kind of corrupt. It was non-repeatable, and we got all kinds of variations. So I think I'm going to take that system off and probably get a race pack data collection system, just because it's more modern. I know a lot of people that work with race pack stuff, and I think it'll be easier to dial everything in compared to what's currently on the car. So that'll help moving forward, so we can get solid data every time and make sure everything works.
Now, Burton also asked maybe add some splitters along the top of the car to keep the airline.
Well, we can't do that. So the problem is, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, Burton, but a lot of people have the solutions, but the solutions don't work within our class rules. So we can't change anything on the body other than what is specifically spelled out in the rule book. So for the modified GT class, we can have a splitter, which we have. We can have an air dam, which we have. We can have a spoiler, which we have, and it gives us the maximum allowable cord length, which we are at the max. And then we can have spill plates on the side, and those are defined in the rule book, and we're at the maximum size for our spill plates. We can have strake, and we can have a diffuser, and we have all of that. Other than that, we can have no more aerodynamic adders. We can't have vertical stabilizers, we can't have vortex generators, we can't have trip fences. All of the stuff that we are allowed to have by the class, we have. So we can't really change much else. And that's what makes it more of a challenge, because they are giving us a defined body type with rules.
Yeah.
And that kind of limits how fast we can go, which makes it more of a challenge. If we could do anything we want on any car, it would just be a normal maximum speed, which those speeds are approaching 500 mile an hour, which isn't realistic for 61 MGA.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at. And
that's what makes it fun, right?
That's what makes it fun, and that's what makes it a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, we're using a body type that's not really meant to go that fast. And it's funny because I feel very disillusioned or deluded, I don't know the right word, but like you guys here, I went 187 mile an hour average. So realistically, it's much faster than 187.
True.
That's the average across the mile. So more than likely, I went into the two mile or 3 mile, whichever run we're talking about. I went into the mile probably around 175 to 180, and I left the mile at 195 to 200. And then they take the average across that standing mile, and that's how they got the 187.8.
Yeah.
So.
And that's for everybody, right?
That's for everybody, not just me. Yeah, all the records are the average across a timed mile. So when you think about that, we're approaching 200 mile an hour, and I think that's slow.
Yeah.
And then you take into the fact that we spun and slid for a mile at almost 200 mile an hour, and it's a big deal, but thinking because we think we're going slow, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So I feel very, like I said, kind of delusional at that point. Like, man, we only went 187 mile an hour before we spun.
Yeah.
And when you think of it, that's really fast.
That's actually really fast.
That's
and
really fast.
Props to you for like going that fast and keeping everything somewhat under control and safe. And so we've got some comments, but Burton basically said before, he said maybe not an aerospace engineer by any means, and rules and those types of challenges are fun to solve.
Yep.
Exactly. So he gets it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you guys follow along on Facebook, there were a lot of comments about, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. But it's all of those suggestions are not allowed by the rules.
Yeah.
So that's where the problem comes in, is we have to abide by the rule book.
Rules is rules.
Rules is rules.
Yeah.
Yep. So what other questions, comments we got, or was that it?
Yeah, a lot of that.
Yeah. So I'm going to be posting a lot of shorter content type stuff because Jamie wasn't there. So Kaylin and Riley Stewart, who were on the crew with me, they took control of the phone, and they took a lot of pictures and short content and a little bit longer stuff. So I think we're going to work on putting some stuff out soon.
Yeah.
Just going through everything and making sure I don't post it all at once is the hard part. So we're going to try to do a lot more posts with the stuff that we've got.
Yeah. Do we want to try to do a video this weekend?
Maybe. We'll have to see how things go.
Yeah.
It's just, things are so hectic right now with being gone for almost 3 weeks and trying to get the truck and trailer unloaded and get caught up on work. So we're going to do the best we can.
Yeah.
But right now things are just hectic, and we'll see what we can do.
Sticking with us right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, things are just tough with it just being me and Mrs. Cornfield.
Yeah. Burton said, is that your team or like a collaboration? How did all that come to be? Right. Probably the Stewarts.
So Tom Stewart has been racing at Bonneville for 30-something years.
And if you go back to our live from
in June. Yeah, middle of June. Tom was here.
Yeah.
So he'd raced. I mean, he's in the 200 mile an hour club. He campaigned his own cars. He's raced with 400 mile an hour streamliners. And for the past, I think, 9 years, he crewed on the Jessel pickup truck, which set numerous land speed records. And they actually won the points championship last year. Are you going to sneeze?
I thought I was going to. Sorry.
So they retired the truck, and me and Tom have been friends for a few years. And he's like, well, I don't have anything to do, so if you need help. And I took him up on it and asked if he wanted to be the crew chief on the MGA program. And then his daughter, Kaylin, I don't know exactly how old she is. She's mid-20s. She's in the 200 mile an hour club, and she got in
18
when she was 18. And then his son, he's wanting to be involved with it. So Riley, and they kind of joined up. And then Aaron Richardson, who helps on the Red Roadster, him and his family were crewing on the car as well.
And I think Kaylin said she's the youngest female.
Yes.
In the 200 mile.
I believe so.
An hour club too. I think we're right with that. If not, she's probably a second.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of a real team, and then like a friend collaboration as well. So we're just working together to try to figure out the best plan for this car and actually get some real numbers. So we're done racing for this season with Australia coming up and being over there pretty much the whole month of October. I'm really not going to be able to make any more races. The World Finals is in September at Bonneville, and then there's November El Mirage, and that's just too far for me to go for a couple day meet with everything else going on.
Yeah.
So
and we won't be able to do any live events in October then, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to do any live events.
I don't know how to do international
YouTube.
Yeah.
If we can figure that out, I'll have time in the
Maybe.
evenings. We'll see if I can figure that out. Maybe it won't matter because I should be able to film
Get
it
on
and
the internet.
Yeah, get
Yeah,
on the internet.
and I think the weird part will probably be time.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll have to do, I guess, in the morning.
yeah. But Don Key says that Tom Bailey, we're talking about Tom Stewart.
Tom Stewart, not Tom Bailey.
Yeah. And then Andrew Baker, oh, hey, I think he was here a couple times ago. Has anybody asked what your plans are for more stability for the MG?
Yep, nobody's asked about it, but just a recap on that. We're going to try to add more weight to the back to kind of balance that out. Like I said, we think we're getting too much frontal downforce at about 190, so it makes the back end light and it almost wants to pivot around on the front wheels. And with the limited slip diff, we're going to take that out and put an open drive, pretty much a peg leg drive in it, so we can run one single wheel. And if that doesn't work, then we'll put a spool in it and see. But we have to be careful trying to run a spool or an open. With a short wheelbase car, it's going to like one or the other, and it's not going to like the oppositional one. So a lot of times, short wheelbase stuff, you want to steer clear of a spool because they can get a little snappy. So we're going to start with the open diff and with the weight, move a little bit more weight to the back and see how that works.
Yeah. Burton said, short answer is more weight in the rear.
Yep.
And Don said, okay. And when it's spun, do you mean, when you say it's spun, do you mean front to back or front to back to front again?
So the SCTA deems anything that goes over a 90-degree rotation a spin. And it's really interesting because when you break down some of the videos, our balance with our CP and our CG are really good. And I've had a couple people say that I've got the center of pressure or the center of gravity wrong. But the way that we know that that's not true is, 190 is about the critical speed where things get weird. And then the car will break traction from that downforce. It'll come to the side. It'll scrub that airspeed. And it won't even get to 180. It'll get close, and then it'll come back around, and then the chute opens. So it's already trying to correct itself before the parachute envelopes and straightens itself out. So to me, that shows that our CG and our CP are pretty on point. It just doesn't like that frontal load at 190. So we just need to add that extra weight to the back. But it never went all the way around. It never even went 180. It got close, but as soon as it came around and scrubbed that speed, it's like trying to throw a dart backwards. It will turn itself around. And that's where the CG being forward of our center of pressure is very important.
Yeah, because it wants to straighten itself out.
Correct.
Cool.
Yeah, and just on that note, our static CG is 9.5 inches forward of our static CP. Usually on land speed stuff, you want at least 6 inches, so we're 3.5 inches over that. So the balance should stay the same. It's just as that aerodynamic downforce on the nose comes into play, it changes our weight bias quite a bit. Yeah. Anything else?
Andrew said one more. Rear arrow, do something similar.
Well, if we could get the rear arrow, yes. But the problem is, like I said, the car is shaped like an airfoil, so it comes over the tonneau cover, dips down to be able to get to the wing. We can't make the wing any bigger. We could add a bigger gurney lip, but to get up into that air, it might have to be 6 or 7 inches tall, which is
illegal.
Well, no, we can add a gurney lip, but it can't extend above our spill plates. So like on our last run, well, the first couple runs, we had an 1/8 inch gurney lip. So all that does is comes off of the wing, and then it's a lip that sticks up. We had an 1/8 inch lip, and on our last 2 runs, I had an 1 5/8 lip, and I noticed 0 difference.
Yeah.
So I think that just the shape of the body, like I said, at that speed, the laminar layer lets go, and it won't allow that to dip down to the spoiler anymore. It just lets go.
Yeah.
And then it creates lift.
Yeah.
Not only is it not creating downforce, but that turbulent air is creating a vacuum and lifting it up.
Yeah. Because suction doesn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah, suction doesn't exist. But like I said, we have strakes, we have a full belly pan, and we are using the exhaust as a diffusion mechanism out of the strake. So we are getting a lot of underneath aero, but the top is kind of outweighing that. So non-aerodynamic downforce equals weight. Yeah. So if we put another 5 to 1,000 pounds behind me, that could move our weight bias back. Like right now we're at 52 over the rear axle, 48 at the front. If we could get to 60, 65 over the back, and then 40 to 35 up front, that will help as that aero comes in, it'll balance itself out and we'll still have more weight over the rear end.
Oh, this is a nice message. Adrian from Metal Form RT says, hello, greetings from Chihuahua, Mexico. Excellent videos and have been very useful in his shop.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, that was really nice, Adrian.
Yeah.
If you need have any other suggestions for a video you'd like to see, I guess let us know.
Yeah.
Might be a minute, but we will do our best.
Yeah, we'll do our best. And
or we might have something already in the backlog.
yeah, because we do have a lot of. I think there's over 200 videos.
Yeah. There's a good amount back there. So feel free.
Yeah.
Check them out. And then I don't think we're having a live next week. Zoo night.
Oh yeah, we could do one from the zoo.
We could maybe do one from the zoo. My work is having an event and we got free zoo tickets. So sorry, y'all, we're going to the zoo.
Yeah.
And garage night?
Yeah, garage night is coming up in a couple weeks. I think it's September 5th.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but we're going to backtrack a little bit.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So, still with the MGA, on our last run where we spun again, we got off into the crunchy bits, and you can see that in the video, like it gets really rough. And hitting that stuff sideways is very rough on the car. So it grabbed the splitter, ripped the splitter off, front belly pan, the radiator started leaking, ripped the exhaust off the car, and tore up the tires a little bit. So that ended our week.
Yeah.
So I do have a little bit of damage I need to correct on the car. Nothing crazy, but just more stuff to do.
I think we should, at least before you start getting into it, try to show some of that too, take some videos of that.
Yeah, here we can talk. Let me grab my keys. I've got, laying at the back, I've got a couple pieces of in the trailer, I've got a couple pieces of the car.
Oh, well, I don't know if I can go.
You can stand in the door. The trailer's right outside.
Oh, okay. I got little legs, guys, sorry.
So I just got to get my keys to unlock the gate.
Burton said the short showing the shrinking disc was pretty cool.
Thank you.
Dennis said, let's see you live in the zoo. The Cincinnati Zoo is super cool, by the way. If you ever come to Cincinnati and you haven't been there, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and with the shrinking disc, I'm planning on doing some shrinking disc videos. Next time I get something in, I have to use the disc on. So we'll do like a door scan or something that needs some shrinking. But if you want to hang out there, I'll grab the pieces and come right back. Jamie can talk about the zoo.
Yeah, the other cool part too is, yeah, Gabe, that's what I want to do too. You can see him grab it some broken bits. So Gabe Schaefer said, hey, and he also said post pictures of the underneath of the MGA, which.
Yeah, so we have some of the underneath in my hand.
Oh, there you go.
So this is one of the exhaust pipes, and you can see that it's nice and flat. The other one, where it goes up into the manifold, is all collapsed back. It's going to be fun to get out.
Yeah.
But, so there's that. And then this was the front belly pan.
Let's see how much salt's going to come out of there.
Yeah, so this was the front belly pan, and this was under the engine, and this was there. So you can see that it wadded it up pretty good and tore out the inner wheel well piece.
I want to see what you guys, did you sign it?
Yeah, so everybody,
hang it up?
yeah, so Speed Week 2025, I signed it, Tom Stewart, Riley Stewart, Kaylee Stewart, Arla Richardson, Aaron Richardson, Kara Richardson, and then Mike Spacek was our re-inspect for, you get a yellow tag if you spin. So Mike Spacek signed both of my yellow tags, and I had him sign it too. Yeah. So this will go on the wall somewhere.
Is there more salt in there, it sounds like?
Yeah, probably. So the splitter, we don't know where it went. We never found it. It's out in the crunchy bits somewhere.
Living its best life.
Yep, out there living its best life. And once we get the car in and up on the lift, I'll show you some pictures that kind of shoved the air dam back a little bit and poked a hole in it. But it's fixable.
Yeah, stay there. Let's see. So Adrienne, I can't read your first comment, but oops, sorry. Andrew Baker also said weight is fairly easy to add, but with the other changes you mentioned, is the MGA out of commission for a bit?
I mean, we're going to have it ready to go in May.
Yeah.
So like I said, we're not racing anymore until May anyway, but I want to move some of the controls off the dash, and we'll talk about that when I get there, just to clean things up, make it more user-friendly. I want to put a different data logger in it. I want to move the fire suppression. We're going to put a 15-gallon ice water tank for the supercharger, so it'll help cool that down a lot and get our air temps into the engine a lot cooler, and then add that weight. So we're going to do a bunch of stuff to it before now in May anyway, and just fixing the air dam, the splitter, and the belly pan, and the radiator, just a little bit more work. It's not like it's going to add 6 months or anything.
Yeah.
So we should still be able to make it for May without sweating too much. But I'm also going to try to be working on the Red Roadster because I'd like to take it as well.
Adrian said, "You're fine, Adrian." He said making low crown panels is quite a challenge.
Yep. Yeah. Low crown is really tough because you really have to creep up on it, and if you're not careful, it gets out of control really quick, and then you spend a bunch of time letting the extra shape go. So yeah, low crowns are always a fun one.
He wrote his last comment in Spanish, is why I said that.
Okay.
And he said, sorry, this is just fine. I'm just not that talented to be multilingual. Andrew said that's a cool wall piece. And then
not the wall piece we wanted, but it'll work.
Yeah. And Gabe wants to know, both cars to California in May?
That's the plan. We'll see. I got to make sure they both fit. And speaking of Gabe, I have a poster for you. So make sure to text me your address, and I'll roll that up on a poster tube and get it out to you. Because he messaged me on the way out asking to get a Speed Week poster, so I've got an extra one for him in the truck.
Oh, cool. Did we? Yeah.
I'm sure I've got it in there somewhere. It'll just make life easier.
Yeah, I thought for some reason at Elmo I got an extra something, I thought. But
It was an old one.
oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
I know I messed up and I got the wrong poster.
Yeah.
To me, they somewhat look the same. So.
Yeah. Any other questions or anything?
Not yet. We are getting close on. I mean, we just now hit 30 minutes. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, there's not been a whole lot of changes in the shop just because I've been gone for a few weeks and only been home a little over a day and a half. Yeah. Going on 2 full days. So hopefully this week has been, getting caught up, like I said, on emails, phone calls, re-upping the store because we did shrinking discs, Cleco tabs, reordered a bunch of shirts. And on the note of shirts, with it being fall time, I went ahead and ordered some very basic baseball tees. So they're not going to have a logo on the back or anything. It's just a navy baseball tee, white center, and then like the 3/4 length sleeves. And then it's going to have Cornfield Customs in navy on the pocket area. So just real basic, real plain, but still some Cornfield merch. So those will hopefully be up in the store in the next week. So if you want to check those out, be ready, and they'll probably be in the newsletter. And I missed last month's newsletter because
oh yeah, so you're gone.
I was gone, and I didn't get it done before I left. So I do apologize for that, but we should be able to get back on that before September. And that'll probably be mostly Bonneville. Bonneville recap, some good pictures of that, what we learned, and just some basic stuff going on, and talking about September's garage night.
Yeah. Gabe said, awesome, he'll send you your stuff also, and thanks so much.
Yeah, I thought about it because I was coming through Sydney, Nebraska Monday. So I thought about messaging you, but I'm like, I don't know how far you are from Sydney, and I'm like, I'll just mail it because then neither one of us have to go out of our way to meet up. So
Andrew said, would the cold water be added to the back as a rear weight offset?
It will a little bit, but there's not enough room in the trunk for it, so it's going to sit next to me in the passenger area, and it just wouldn't be enough. I mean, we're talking adding 500 to 600 pounds of lead versus a couple hundred pounds of water, if that. So we'll see, but it will help, and we don't want to add it behind the rear axle because then that does other weird things. We want to put it forward of the rear axle, but towards the back of the passenger compartment. That way, we're not changing the bias as much. We are adding a percentage to the weight, percentage of the weight to the rear axle, but it's also adding it to the front, so we don't start switching that CG and that CP around.
Adrian said he loves the profile bender for making chassis, and he still does it with cut and welding pieces.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and if you ever decide you want to get some mandrel bent rails, we ship stuff down that way all the time. So we try to be really economical with that kind of stuff, especially for the home builder or the smaller shop. So anything we can do to help you out with mandrel bent rails, feel free to message me.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody got anything else? Other
Yeah.
questions? Have you done a video like on the trailer? Like
The race trailer?
Yeah, like a trailer tour?
Not really. Yeah, maybe we could do a walk around with it.
Because I was thinking that might be nice, because when you were talking about the tires on the trailer, I don't know if people realize, like, obviously you're handy, but you've got a full mini shop.
Yeah, so I mean, the trailer has living quarters and tools, and I usually travel with at least 2 spare tires, and we've got the pit stops down pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many tires I've changed on the trailer on the side of the road.
I know, or how many of those tires you've bought and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but as much as I drag a trailer around, I mean, probably in the past
Oh.
5 years, I've probably put 100,000 miles on a trailer.
I'm sure. You got, this is a good question, but someone made a comment, which is funny, hopefully. And they said, if you tap the screen, it shoots fireworks, which is usually giving likes.
Oh, nice.
And Dalton White said, what's some good audiobooks to listen to?
Oh, man. I don't know. It depends on what you're into. So, like, I'm into, like, mystery, thriller with a touch of sci-fi, like not too sci-fi.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of horror.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of horror. I can't even remember stuff that I recently listened to. So I'd have to go through my, maybe that's what we could do.
Go through
the
Libby?
Cornfield Book Club.
Oh gosh, I would love that.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'll tell you guys too is I got Mike onto it, which if you listen to a lot of audiobooks, if you don't do this already, we're huge fans of the library, the public library for free. So download the Libby app and you can get audiobooks for free. Sometimes you have to have holds and wait on stuff,
Yeah.
but
That's nice for as much as I listen to them, because I
Yeah.
mean, I'll go through 4 or 5 books a week.
and Audible's $20 a pop, so
Yeah.
not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can start doing that. We'll add that maybe to the Patreon as
Yeah.
my
Book recommendations.
my book recommendations.
And Andrew says, I bet the whole truck and trailer needs to be power washed.
Not really. Surprisingly, like the salt was really dry and hard, so I didn't get a
Okay.
ton.
Yeah.
Usually what I do is the week that I get home, I'll put a sprinkler under the front of the truck, and I'll let it run there for half the day, and then I'll move it, and then just progress all over. You don't really want to power wash so much, because that pressure can shove the salt up into little nooks and crannies where it shouldn't be. If you use like low pressure, like a sprinkler, it just loosens everything and it falls out.
Drips.
Yeah, so I'll do that, and then I'll spray a salt neutralizer on it, let it sit, and then re-rinse.
Dennis wants an update on the camper. Should I tell him what we bought for it the other day?
Yeah, so we bought a porta potty for it, which is
Yeah, kind of a funny story because it's not used, but I got it from a friend who bought it and never used it, so it was brand new in the box. So that was kind of nice. Got a pretty decent deal on it.
Yeah, so I think the plan is when we go to El Mirage in May, I think Jamie and the puppies are going to go with us.
Hopefully,
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So we'll probably take the ambulance and one of the small trailers.
Yeah.
So that's currently the plan.
But we got to get tires.
Yeah, I want to take the wheels off, get the wheels sandblasted, new tires put on it. I want to go through the steering, and we're going to put a starter on it.
Starters first, yeah.
Yep. And
Someone said, I'm not sure this, Air Tech, they said, hey Mike, sprinkler makes sense. And they're asking who's behind the camera. It's me, I'm Jamie, I'm Mike's wife. And then Woody Wood said, I can tell that's a 1930 cowl from here. I'm like, I don't know.
yeah, probably Gary's car.
Yeah, that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you got other questions, get those in. If not, we're probably going to wrap it up because Jamie said she wants to go to Mexican tonight.
Yeah.
So
Even though you're sick of it probably. But
that doesn't matter.
I know, it's different kinds. Dalton said, good beginner Bonneville car, question mark?
Oof, that's tough. If you're interested in getting into Bonneville racing, and this is probably not the answer you want, but this is the most honest answer I can give from experience. If you want to get into Bonneville, find a car that you like and reach out to those people and see if you can hang out and be part of the crew.
Yeah.
Because you get to see the ins and outs, how things work, what is involved, especially if they're actively pursuing a record. If they're just going out and goofing off, it's not going to be the same as if somebody is working. Because like with us, you might think, oh, it's going to be fun. We're going to go out and just hang out and have a good time. I get to the salt at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I usually don't leave the salt till 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So we're there 12 to 13 hours a day to make a couple runs a day. We're working on the car. We're all over the place. So it gives you a really good feel if it's something you want to be involved with. And then moving forward, that team might put you in a car so you can get your license. I don't always do that. I let people sit in the car, be pushed up to the starting line, wear the safety equipment, and do bailouts, because that kind of gives you a feel of what you're in for. It's not always a pleasant experience. Like one of the runs this time, they say when you're 3 cars back from the starting line to go ahead and get in the car. That way, when it's your turn, you're ready. So we were 3 cars back. I got all suited up, got put in the car, and I have a cool suit on. I was in the car for probably 45 minutes.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And they had to refill my cool suit twice. And I was belted in because I was just sitting there waiting. And it was, a slow car or bike, and then there might have been parts on the course, so they were doing a course sweep and all this stuff. And by that point, I was ready to get out. I was not happy being in the car anymore. I'm not claustrophobic. I didn't feel overheated. I was just tired of sitting in that car being strapped down. So it's not always going to be a fun, pleasant experience. And just being involved with the team and them letting you, be pushed from the pit to the starting line, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but say we're running course 3. So from the starting line, or from the pit to the starting line on course 1 was 3.25 miles. So we have to push down 3.25 miles to get to course 1, and then go all the way around course 1 and course 2 to course 3, which is another mile. So you're in the car for 4.5 miles, and you're not wearing a racing suit. So then you get to feel what it's like being in the car, not strapped in, and then we could go from there. So get involved with the race team, and then if you want to move forward, there are always a fair amount of reasonably priced entry-level cars out there. As guys age out or they're building new cars, they'll sell like a roller. It can be really expensive, especially if you're having to travel across country. So again, I'm not wanting to discourage anybody, but to get your feet wet, hook up with a team, offer free labor, and just kind of get a feel for if it's something you want to spend your time and effort with. That way you're not jumping in at $30,000 to $100,000 and you're going out and you're miserable the first time. You don't like being on the salt. You don't like the heat. You don't like the sun. Because it's exhausting.
Yeah. We've got a couple things. Adrian did ask, do you have any videos on making your own steering wheel? What could we make?
I don't have any videos on it. I have done it a couple times in the past. The Indy Roadster, we did one with purple heartwood, and then we've done, I did the butterfly wheel in the red car.
Yeah.
So I haven't done any videos on it, but we have made a couple steering wheels.
Yeah. Gabe said enjoyed dinner. Mexican food is great. Dennis, of course, said thanks. Glad all is well. And Adrian, of course, agreed that's the best food.
Yeah.
Andrew said, how long are your licenses good for? That's a good question.
So the licenses are essentially good forever as long as you continually race. So say I currently have a B license. I think it's a B. Yeah. So I have a B license. As long as I run, my license stays active. So then if I stop racing, after 3 years, I drop a license. So I would go from a B back to a C.
Oh, okay.
And then 3 more years, it would drop down again, and then again.
So you could take a season off in theory
Yeah.
if you wanted to. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, you don't have to set a record. You don't have to be running in that speed range. Like say I never go over 100 mile an hour at Bonneville again. I will keep that B license, which is good up to 200.
Okay.
So you just have to actively keep racing to keep your license active. If not, you have to start over again. So say you don't race for 10 years and you've lost all your licenses. All it is you have to run from your 125 to your 150, and then 150 to 175, 175 to 200, and so on. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to pay anything other than racing at the event, and it doesn't have to be in your car. Like last year, we let Shug make a pass in our car just to keep his licenses up.
Okay. Yeah. AirTech asked how you fix the lift issue.
We're just going to add more weight to the back.
And you can watch this video again. It'll be
yeah, we've covered it a couple times, but essentially we just need to add more weight to the back, take the limited slip rear end out, and put an open unit in and see if it cooperates a little bit better.
And then Gabe said next year he'll be there for Speed Week, so he'll give you some free labor.
Yeah, yeah, because I threatened to pick him up on the way out.
Yeah.
Because I think he commented on something, and I said, hey, you want me to stop and pick you up in Nebraska? And I was already on the road. But he decided to go to Sturgis instead.
Oh, lame.
Yeah.
That's fine. Greg Galvin said, what's the Bean Bandits?
The Bean Bandits are a land speed racing club out of San Diego. Yeah. So they run, when I run the Red Roadster, they have a Roadster that's similar. They run the same class, engine class, everything. and it's number 200. So I befriended those guys, and I like all their stuff. So I always make sure to buy a Bean Bandit shirt when I'm out there. And there's actually a really good story about a Bean Bandit shirt that I hold near and dear to my heart. It's not this one. It's next time I'll try to remember, but the side's all burned up. So when we went and got the GT in Colorado, the car caught fire, and I used my Bean Bandit shirt to help put the fire out and save the car. So they are great at putting fires out.
So we joked that shirt's worth like $100,000.
Yeah, it's a $100,000 T-shirt.
It saved you $100,000.
Yeah, so it was funny. I was actually wearing it when I bought my new Bean Bandit shirt, and they're like, "Man, it's time for a new one. That one's all tore up." And I'm like, "Let me tell you the story."
Let me tell you why.
Yeah. So.
And AirTech said, he's been out of the loop, which that's fine. And Andrew said, what was the record you were going for, 200 plus?
Yeah, so the record when we went to Speed Week was 219 and some change, and while we were there, that got bumped up, I think, to 223 and some change.
Good for them.
Yeah, so obviously it would have been amazing if we could have got a record, but that really wasn't what I was expecting. I had a pipe dream of going 220, 225-ish, but we're still learning the car, learning what it needs, and what we have to do to improve on. So ideally, I was hoping for 200 on our timing slip, whether that be an exit speed or an average. Since we didn't really get to the 5 mile, we don't know what our exit speed would have been, but we're like I said, we're hovering around that somewhere. Yeah. Because to get a 187 average across the mile, we had to be exiting somewhere around 190 to 195-ish. Yeah. So next year, if we can go out, I'm hoping for 200 at El Mirage and maybe 200 to 205 at Bonneville. The car has plenty left in it. It's got plenty of power. It's just getting that thing to stay planted at those speeds. So hopefully the additional weight in the differential will help get that ironed out.
Yeah. AirTech said you'll get there. And then Greg Galvin said, how do I get a shirt? So he asked about the Bean Bandit shirt, so I'm not sure if he means that shirt or your shirt.
So I can do both. If you're on Instagram, the Bean Bandits have a Facebook and an Instagram. See, I could look it up. I hate to be on my phone on these, but I want to give you the accurate information. G-Watt.
I was gonna say, do you want to walk back out front? We can show those shirts again too.
Yeah, so G.Watt, W-A-T-T, if you can zoom in on that.
No, hold on, stay still. Hopefully you guys can see that.
Yeah, so that's Gareth. He runs, so this is the number 200 car, and this is this year's Bonneville shirt.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they're always this color, right?
Yep, yeah, this yellow is the Bean Bandits. So you can hit up Gareth or Dan Waldrop, Dan Wall 215, and he can get you the hookup. Hopefully he doesn't mind me showing his Instagram, but it is public. So then you can get Bean Bandit shirts from him as well. So the Bean Bandits have a very rich heritage racing at Bonneville. Yeah, and here's the 200 car on the El Mirage poster.
Oh, is that this year's poster?
2024.
Okay. Gosh.
Yeah, so they have a big heritage of racing on the salt. So I like those guys a lot and try to support what they're doing because they've always been supportive of what I'm doing.
Yeah. And now they get to see the back of the shirt.
Yeah.
And then Burton said at Bonneville and El Mirage, part of the same are they part of the same group, quote unquote? Does it?
Yes. So
run at one, count at the other. So it does for.
It doesn't count the same, so the track is different. El Mirage and Speed Week and World Finals are sanctioned by the Southern California Timing Association, SCTA. Bonneville is also sanctioned by the BNI, which is Bonneville Nationals Incorporated. So in the rule book, which I can grab because I was just looking at it, they are the same sanctioning body, but if you come in here and you go to records, you have Bonneville National Car Records.
Yep.
And then we come farther back. Those are motorcycles. Then we have El Mirage Dry Lake Rules and El Mirage Records. So the records are different for each course because Bonneville is the average over a mile, and that can be on the long course or the short course. And El Mirage is a trap speed at 1.33 miles. So it's 1.33 miles drag race versus an average over at Bonneville. So 2 different courses, 2 different ways they time, 2 different records. So if you want one of my shirts, you can go to cornfieldcustomsltd.store and check out the merch. We have MGA shirts that were done by Jeff Norwell. These are really cool. Actually, I don't have any larges, because if I had another large, I'd open it up so you can see the back, because I would just keep it for myself. So those are on the store. We have our coupe logo, which is half of a coupe with a Hemi. We have our belly tank. I know you're not seeing a whole lot of it, but they are on the store. You can see them. And we have, let's see if this one shows a little bit more. This one has the modified Roadster on it. And then we have the winner's circle, which just has some checkered flags in our logo. And then the new baseball tee will be up on there as well. So check that out. Yeah, there's the coupe. And we've got posters, and we've got shop towels and hats. We've got tons of stuff, because here's the belly tank. So that's what the belly tank logo looks like on the back of the shirts. It is just an ivory instead of in black and white. And the Roadster shirt, that's the same logo that's on the Roadster.
And Greg's asking if you have a link. There's a link in your link tree on Instagram and on YouTube.
Yep.
In the bio.
Yep, in the bio. And like I said, it's cornfieldcustomsltd.store. And you can scroll down to the merch. We've got tons of stuff on there. Like I said, hats, posters, shirts, rags, tools, all kinds of stuff on there. And any of that stuff is, anything you purchase is greatly appreciated and helps fund my terrible addiction of racing.
Yeah, the hats are for sale too. Andrew said, is there a way to test your balance, or is a race the only way to test?
I mean, like I said, you could put it in a wind tunnel, but that's really expensive and it's only going to show you so much. As far as weights and balances, we can scale it and do the math to figure out where our static CP and our static CG are, which is what we did before. But the problem is that's not taking into account any of the aerodynamic forces. So we know that we have the back end getting lighter. One of my friends that I said was an aerospace engineer. He's doing some frontal analysis to get us calculations of how much weight is being added by aerodynamic forces at that speed. So we can calculate how much more weight we need to add to the back.
I've got a couple more questions, but I'm not understanding. Airtech said, what was the other person in D ? So I don't know what that.
The what? In D?
Yeah.
That was
Class?
probably, if you're talking about the engine class, it was Tim Higginbottom, and he's running a Corvette.
Okay. Burton said, that makes sense. And then Greg said, are we in San Diego? No, we're in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yep. Yeah, we're in Cincinnati, but the Bean Bandits and San Diego Roadster Club are in San Diego, California.
Yeah. AirTech's, all the Buckies, bobblehead back there.
Yeah, I've got lots of stuff everywhere.
Lots of random stuff. And that the nice hat, that's why I said hats are for sale too.
Yep, and then if you're new, so there's the red car that we usually run at Bonneville and El Mirage. So it's our flathead powered modified Roadster. And you can show the cockpit on it. It's a little more snug than the MGA, a little bit more going on. But this is a really fun car. It's not super fast. It's been 146 average across the mile.
Oh yeah, and is this the steering wheel you made too?
Yep. Yeah, we made that wheel, and then Michael Torres did the woodwork for us.
Yeah.
So lots going on this one. And when I'm going to do some work on it here coming up this winter. We'll do some videos with the body and stuff off. There's already some up where it doesn't have any of the coverings, but it's been a couple years. So maybe we'll do a live event while we've got the body and everything off of it.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, our number and all that stuff is on the website. There's a contact us at the very bottom if you scroll down with phone number, email, all that good stuff.
Yep, and you can sign up to the newsletter on the website.
Yeah.
And it's not very spammy. We just send it out once a month, kind of touching base where we are at the shop. And then if we do giveaways and that kind of stuff or new products, you guys are the first to know on the newsletter. So again, that's cornfieldcustomsltd.store. And you can check all of that out on there.
Or just cornfieldcustomsltd.com.
Yep.
And it's all there.
Yep.
And then Razor Sharp said, When is the next time you get to take the car back to the flats?
We'll hit El Mirage in May for the season opener.
Yeah.
We're done racing for the year. We just don't have enough time to get out to the races because World Finals is in 3 weeks, and I can't.
There's no way.
I can't turn and burn right back to Bonneville, and then November El Mirage. We'll be getting ready to go to Australia, or we'll be right after I get back from Australia.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I think it's the weekend I would get back. So I can't fly home, pick the truck and trailer up, and drive to El Mirage for a 1-day meet or a 2-day meet.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much done for the season.
Yeah.
And that gives us plenty of time to work on the MGA and this car and get them ready for next year's racing season.
Yeah. And Andrew said the paint looks beautiful on the Red Roadster.
Yeah. Thank you. My friend Nick Hammond did all the body and paint on it, and it turned out really nice.
Yeah, we have his. What is he? Bright interiors.
Bright
finishes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the.
Yep. And then Josh Shaw did all the hand lettering and gold leaf on the car. So that's the cool thing is there's no vinyl on the car, other than just like stickers from Church of Speed and the San Diego Roadster Club. And the U.S. flags for our drivers, those are vinyl, and then our SCTA. But everything else is all hand-lettered stuff.
So this is cool because I like all these little things. Josh put all these little cute touches.
Yeah. Yeah, and like here's my hand for size. So like very detailed for the overall size.
Okay, I think we're almost out of time too.
Yeah, so if you have any last-minute questions, get those in. If not, we are going to wrap this up so we can go get dinner.
Yeah, Restoration Revival said, just got here. What did I miss?
You missed everything.
No, I don't know where to start with that one.
Yeah, you missed a lot of stuff. We talked about Bonneville and the MGA and the Roadster and merch. And
this will be up on the channel so you can watch it for sure.
So thanks for joining in, even though it's at the very end.
Appreciate it.
But you'll just have to watch the recap because we're about ready to head out.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate you joining in.
And then someone asked, Dawn asked, what's the class record for the
red car?
Red car, yeah.
I'd have to look it in the book, but I think it's right at like 170, which is asking a lot for a flathead. So we still have a long way to go with, like I said, we've been 146, but we want to change the rear end. We want to change the intake. There's a bunch of stuff we want to change to start working that up. But as we're doing that, the record is slowly being bumped up as well. So we're on the chase.
Yeah.
But when we did this car, it wasn't necessarily to be a record getter. It's the practice car, and it's done everything we've wanted it to do so far. We worked on licensing, and I've put 5 rookie drivers through the car, and it's just a really pretty car we can take out and enjoy.
Restoration Revival said they need to get out of bed earlier, so I'm assuming they're an Australia person.
Yeah.
So we'll catch you in
a month or so.
In a month or so.
Yeah.
Everyone else is saying enjoy dinner. So
yeah,
you're ready. And maybe I'm thinking of Instagram, because I think Instagram only lets you go live for an hour, and I don't know if YouTube has a limit.
No, I don't think YouTube has a limit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if we would get kicked off like Instagram does.
No.
And then Razor Sharp said, thanks for your time. And for them, it's a learning curve of another human's life.
Yeah. Everything's a learning curve, just how you look at it. Thank you, everybody, for checking this out. Last chance to get those last-minute questions in as I give my closing spiel. So thank you guys so much. Make sure to check out the website, cornfieldcustomsltd.com, the web store, cornfieldcustomsltd.store. Check out the merch. We got plenty of tools, corking tools, coining tools, slappers, shrinking discs, which I just stamped a ton of. So make sure to check those out. We got class signups on there, and sign up for the newsletter. It's not spammy. Just gives you guys a monthly look into what's going in the shop, events we'll be doing, and new product releases. So we don't hit you up with a bunch of spammy emails. So make sure to check that stuff out. If you don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, Cornfield Customs Ltd on everything. Just make sure to check that out. You get more daily updates on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. So, any last-minute questions? Are we all wrapped up?
We got 2 things, and then we'll be fine though. Restoration Revival said that he is in Australia, but 16 hours away from where we'll be, so we get that.
Yeah. We'll be closer. So.
Yeah, and thank you, and this will all be on the channel again, so you can watch it later. And then Razor Sharp said thank you, and they'll be back on the next episode with questions But I was going to say with that too, usually on Sundays for your subscribers on Instagram,
Yep.
you do Sunday questions.
Yep. So if
that's
you want to be a
another-
subscriber on Instagram, it's $1 a month. And Sundays I do a subscriber only Q&A. So you can ask me all your questions and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. If you don't want to do that, that's fine too. You can always comment those on any of our other videos that are on the channel, or you can save them to next week's live event. And that one might be at the zoo.
Yeah.
So make sure to check out some of our older videos. All the support you guys give from likes, comments, and watches and shares is greatly appreciated. We're still trying to actively grow this channel as well as everything else. And with the support of you guys, after all the years, things are starting to take off. So I greatly appreciate that. Do you have anything to add, Mrs. Cornfield?
No, I'm good. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so again, thank you guys so much for checking this out, as well as all of our other great content we're putting out for you guys. So make sure to stick around on the channel, and we will see you hopefully next week for Live and Dirty at 5:30.
At the zoo.
So, yep, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.